Welcome to another edition of the Bullet Point Podcast. My name is Joe, as you know, and today we are speaking to Franco Marx, who's the constituency head of the DA in Limpopo. And with him is Renee Poel, who you guys all know if you're from Zanin. She's a veteran in the politics, although she's not a politician, and she is the caucus leader of the Zanin DA caucus. Okay, Franco, so we're going to be talking about a new app that you guys have developed.
That's correct.
Okay. So is it you guys, as in the DA, that developed it, or is it you that developed it? But before we get to that, just tell us who you are. How do you fit into the whole story?
Okay, I'm Franco Marx. I'm a member of the provincial legislature in Limpopo, and I'm the constituency head for the DA in Mopani West, which includes Janine, Giani, and Letaba. The councillors in this area falls under me, and I need to give them political direction. As Renee will explain, streetlights such as potholes or other issues are obviously always concerns in your area. And when I've noticed how streetlights are reported, I've created this app or asked developers to assist me with certain features. And yeah, that is how we managed to make life easier for reporting for the councillors and for residents and even the municipality, as you will see when we explain more about the app.
Okay, so it's an app that's still in development.
Yes, Janine will be our beta phase of it. Any inputs will be welcome. It is an initiative, and to see maybe we can take it wider in Limpopo and even South Africa if there's a need for that.
Okay, Renee.
Yes.
So Franco is the constituency head, and then you report directly to him.
He's actually not, he's part of the caucus in a way that he gives us direction as well and just see and give us a lot of input and to assist us, especially from provincial level. That helps us a lot. We are a team, we do teamwork. And if I must can come in here, why streetlights? And why streetlights, why it's a priority to the DA is number one for the safety of all the residents in our town. And especially Ward 14, where we started with this and we're launching it today. Actually what happened is that I traveled at night and I took street by, I still do it, street by street and just see which streetlights are working and which not. But some days it's working, some days it's not working. So we talked with our political constituency head and told us about our problems. And he said, I might think about something. And we tried this. So actually, what we decided is that on street lights, it's number one, as I said, for the safety of all our residents. Number two, when you travel at night, there are many potholes that you're not aware of that you can't see. That's not that significant to us, or you can't see it. And then especially unmarked and not well maintained speed humps. That's another one.
That's
The
a good
other one,
problem.
yeah, and then also street markings. That's there's no street markings. There's no street names, most of it, and there's also traffic signs that's also missing. So that's why we do this to be able to address this in many different ways. So the app is also one that will assist us a lot. It's very user friendly. It works very well. So what actually happened is myself and one of my colleagues, Chris van Bredenkamp, we traveled and we went to every street. So what happened is, because I'm the ward councillor, I drive and she maneuvers the phone and the app, of course. So you have to travel every single street. And then what you do is you stop and then the location, and we put everything on the app.
Is
and
that
then
now?
we
If you
send
see
it.
a street light in Harry Dilly Street, it's not working, then you guys physically go, you drive, you
Yes, yeah,
stop, you write
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Okay. So I guess we're going to get to exactly how the app works, but if I understand it right, it works now suddenly. If every resident has got access to the app, then you've got 1,000 pairs of eyes instead of just 2 pairs of eyes. So then if you can then walk around and say, listen, there's a street light, like with the WhatsApp group that you started. There's a
Yeah.
street light, it's not working. And if I've played a bit on the app, then you can click on the street light and it marks it as not, it doesn't work.
I think that portion, let me answer it because currently it's not open for everyone.
Mm.
So let me maybe
Okay, it's
start
fine.
and explain that.
Because I was going to say that, because I remember
Yes.
you have to get login details. Okay, so the app is currently in the beta phase. No? So it's
That's-
testing.
Yes.
Because I can understand also, I was thinking about it, it's a great initiative. But now, if I was a member of another political party, anyone, it doesn't matter which one, and I'm vying for votes. Now, I want to get Renee out of her seat as the ward councillor where she's been for 100 years. Now I want to remove her. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to go into the app and I'm going to uncheck all the street lights that she reported as not working. I'm going to check it that it's all working again, and just to mess around, eh? So that's why you say it's not. You guys are still testing it, and you have to register to use the app.
Yeah, so currently the only registered users are the councillors, as it's still a beta app. But obviously, as you've explained, we need more eyes. But to protect the credibility of the pins and the locations, we cannot allow any person to just register and to avoid fake reportings and send the municipality on a wild goose chase. The Initially, I think members of the community safety forums and the CPFs, we will look at them as well because they are patrolling in any event in the evenings. They will accurately report, and that is the way that we will be able to ensure that the information that we send to the municipality will be accurate and
unpolluted.
verifiable and polluted. Yes.
So maybe also, I know Renee has got a ward committee. So
Yeah.
maybe the ward committee members also. I know your other colleague also has her own ward committee.
Yeah.
So that's already what, 4 people in a ward.
So it's actually it's about 10. We have a few appointments that must also be filled.
Yeah.
Of course, about 2 or 3. But yes, we do have
Yeah,
people.
then because those are people you can trust. Okay, so
It must be people that we can trust.
So it doesn't
Very, very important.
necessarily have to be a DA
yeah,
person,
Mm.
as long as it's someone. So even on your ward committees, there will be other political parties. Although it's supposed to be apolitical, there will be other factions as well. But if the information is accurate, anyone can
Yeah.
use it.
it's benefit of everybody.
When we test the app later and we show you will even see that if a pin is shared, we can open it before it goes to the app to ensure that the information is accurate. So where necessary, the apps or the WhatsApp groups can stay open, and that is how we can verify that information is accurate.
Because then on Renee's streetlight group, for example, if I report that a streetlight here by me, well, not here because it's not the municipal problem, but say a streetlight in front of my house is not working, and I report it on the WhatsApp group, then she can go into the app from her house and go and find that one and also pin it.
Well, actually, even better. So at the moment, the WhatsApp group, you will say number 10 Boot Lombard Street. So yes, you can go and search for it and then pin it. Or you can actually on that WhatsApp group send it to Renee and she will forward it to our WhatsApp dedicated number and then it will pull through
Oh, wow.
the app. So yeah, when we test it later, you can send a pin to me directly and I'll forward it to our app. And then you will see it works exactly the same.
That's cool.
So that way, even people who are not registered can send pins, but we still have some control as to what pins actually go onto the
Okay.
the
That's the number that I had to save as a contact.
Yes, so you are registered,
Yeah.
but let's say there's someone who are not registered. You can actually test it yourself. Let someone else send you a pin, and then you forward it instead of going search for the pin.
Okay, that's brilliant. So are you going to show us how it works?
Yes.
Whilst Frank is getting everything ready, I think it's important that we note, because there's a lot of people that don't know this and they think we're lying. Zanin has the second biggest power network.
14.
Yeah, no, the whole of Zanin, the
okay.
greater Zanin municipalities, power network is the second largest in the country. If you talk about kilometer wise, I forget off by heart. I think it's 300 and something thousand kilometers worth of electrical infrastructure.
Electrical infrastructure, yeah.
So an app like this can alleviate a bit of the pressure. Because my problem with WhatsApp groups that report power, and everybody thinks I'm just being nitpicky or whatever, or being funny. I'm not. The way I understand it is, if you are an admin of a power group, like I've got 100 groups on my phone. So now electrical reporting, let's tell number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Now, if you're an admin, in my opinion, you should be going through, okay, now everybody sends through their, my house's power is off, my farm's on single phase, whatever. You're supposed to go through and summarize it and send a summary message to the technician and say, listen, we've got a problem. There's 5 houses without power in this area. But now what they're doing is they're sending the 1,000 messages that come through. They're just forwarding it to the poor technician.
Technicians, yeah.
So the technician is now driving with an old phone, number 1, middle of the night, looking for a fault, and his phone is buzzing. Of course, it's not going to work. Of course not. So an app like this can alleviate that a bit, at least.
So that's exactly why we've created the app, because when I first saw on the groups there, and I added me on most of the groups and the other wards and so on, and then I've realized, but the information are just copied and paste, or 20
Forward.
and tomorrow they report the same street, so there's no way to pinpoint where exactly is what is the issue in a specific street. And then they forward, as you correctly state, to the technician. The technician, we don't know how they work inside, but they probably work either on WhatsApp directly, maybe on a spreadsheet, or maybe, surprisingly, they will have a system which we don't know what access they have. They probably don't have a system similar like this. So the idea was then to gather information, harvest the data, and then give an output where we as councillors can oversee where's the problem areas, but also the municipality can immediately see where the problem is. Now, it's not only limited to streetlights. We can use the exact same, and the app currently got 2 functions, streetlights and potholes. But if there are electricity outages on a farm and it's a long line, it's even more difficult because you don't have 10 Boom Street or whatever the case may be. And then the pin can take you exactly there. They can print the map and say, here you go. If the municipality has opened it, they will even have viewing rights. Obviously, then signal might have be a problem, but obviously they can still print it in color, and as I'll show you.
We've got the call center.
Yeah.
So eventually you can have someone in the call center that monitors the app.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, my dad was an electrician his whole life. So I know if you say to me, I've got 10 messages here from people in Boet Lombard Street, obviously there's a problem at Boet Lombard Street. I don't need to go to all 10 houses. I need to go to the transformer for Boet Lombard Street.
And then they're located.
Yes. So the call center can then say, listen, guys, we've obviously got a problem with farm whatever and farm whatever, that area there. And then the technician will know, we'll just go to the transformer. So they don't need 1,000 messages. We are clogging our system here. So then this system can go, eventually we can get it to the point where you can report water leakages,
Correct.
burst water pipes,
Potholes.
fire hydrants that have been damaged, potholes.
The other advantage is, especially when it's potholes or street lights, instead of calling the call center and a person need to jot down the address, and the technician don't know where's Boet Lombard or Boom Street or whatever the case may be. Now he got a map and he know exactly where to go and see where's the problem.
Pin location.
The other advantage, and when I discussed this with the developers, was everyone got millions of apps, especially if you're tech savvy on your phones, and get frustrated with too many apps. And we decided, well, everyone use WhatsApp, so let's use the WhatsApp. It got all this integrated functionality, and that is why we decided to go with it.
So it's not another app that I have to download off the Play Store?
Correct.
I remember when I went through the registration process, it's really quick. You put in all your details and you get a WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And you follow the instructions and you're actually talking to a WhatsApp person,
Yes,
a bot.
we will go through the steps, but if you are remember, not everyone is going to be registered as users, because not everyone is that much interested to go and report the whole area. But for someone who don't want to register, but they only got the street light in front of his home, he can send his message to Renee or whoever is ward councillor, and she just forward it to the app and she go and actually log.
Yeah.
So it
Brilliant.
takes out the creation of a list and remembering that we must go and sort out Boetlomba
That's
Street.
brilliant. That is just a part of WhatsApp. Okay. So quickly run us through from step one. Now I want to get involved. So I want to be able to report stuff on this new, I don't want to call it an app. I want to report my street light to my ward councillor using this new functionality that you guys have got.
So
How do I start?
let's differentiate between different users. So first of all, you have your DA councillors who are already registered. But let's say you're a member of the CPF, the Community Police Forum, and you want to get involved. You're driving every night. You will send a message to your ward councillor, and we will send you a link with 4 or 5 questions. It's your name, your address, cell phone number. The cell phone number is obviously important because you're going to receive a WhatsApp. And that is as simple as it is.
It becomes a contact.
And it's a contact. So once you've registered, then I will receive as the administrator a message. It will say Joe Dreyer wants to be registered. I'll ask my councillors, do you know Joe? Why specifically him? Obviously, if I already discussed it with you, then I know, and I'll give approval. That is to avoid spammers and persons coming up and defrauding our information. So once Joe is there and we know we can trust him with accurate information, then you and your team will drive. And we can go through the steps now if you want me to
Yeah.
show you those steps.
Show us how it works quickly.
All right, so the app works as follows. You will type in your details. You will be sent a link. The WhatsApp number will then send you a message that you can read. I'm not going to read everything. And then it asks, simply type help, which I've done there. And then you will see it gives you 2 ways to report an issue. The one I'm going to show, and I'm going to do it live now. You're going to click on location. And currently you say send your current location.
So if you're standing at the street light, you can send your current location.
Yes.
Perfect.
So in this case, we've now sent and chosen this current specific location. We're under a street light, for example, and you can then select broken street light. Or as you can see from the options, you can even choose pothole, but in this example, let's use a broken street light. I click send, and it takes me then a second or two, and it say, thank you for reporting. What this means is that pin that you've just sent is now on our back end of the system, which we will discuss a bit later. The other way to do it is if you're in your home and you know of a pothole close to your work, then you can click on location, and then on top there's 4 brackets, and then you can move your pin and you can zoom in exactly where the issue is, and you click on that pin and you say send this location. And in this case it was 1A Monument Street. So although we are in a different location, it gives you exact same options. Select your issue here, broken street light pothole. We choose broken street light again, send, and so you can add and add. So when you're driving, you can drive, and it's normally a 2-man team, as Renee earlier indicated. One driving, one stopping exactly below the street lights.
And what makes it brilliant is anybody who's got WhatsApp on their phone has used the pin location feature since it started on WhatsApp. So everybody knows how it works. There's nothing special you need to learn. Old people won't battle like me. I'll just give it to my son to do. But it's not complicated at all. It's like when your friend asks you, like when you guys wanted to know what do you do when you want to come to my house? Send me a pin location, please. Everybody knows how to do that. So registered users will then be able to send that pin location to the WhatsApp bot, and then it's done.
So that is for the registered users. But let's say you don't want to register and you don't want to be an admin user or ambassador for streetlights or portals or whatever the case may be. there's still a way for you to report it. All that you then need to do is to send your ward councillor that specific PIN. You don't have to give any details. Safe to say, I want to report a pothole or a street light, so that when she receives the option, then at least she knows she's reporting
Brilliant.
a street light.
Because let me tell you, there's one thing that grinds my bones. Then somebody is sitting without power or whatever. They send Joe Grayer, power off. Okay. Then the admin will send back, I'm not going to report it because you didn't write it in the right format. You must say your name, da, 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 da.
Mm.
And if it's not sent in exactly that format, we won't report it. Now this cancels it all out.
Correct.
Listen, I've got a problem, PIN location, done.
Correct.
Because I know from personal experience that ward councillors will be sitting and eating and their phone buzzes and buzzes and buzzes with people wanting answers, people sending
Mhm.
stuff, people complaining and fighting with each other on groups. That cancels all that out.
Good.
Now it's 100% streamlined.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what happens on your side? I know we won't be able to access your side,
You will
but just for interest sake.
I will still show you how it looks on the back end. There's nothing sinister going on. This is the information, and there's many ways that we can give this information to the municipality. If they want to, we can give them a viewing access, and they can see exactly what we're going to show you now. But obviously, due to policies and different other reasons, maybe political reasons, they might not want to use our app. From our side, it's an overseeing mechanism, it's an accountability tool for us. So we know exactly where the issues is. The ward councillor know where the issues is. And she can, if they do not want to use our platform, which will make their life much easier, we're going to submit monthly reports in a PDF format. And if they don't want to use it, the councillor will ask difficult
Yeah.
questions in council.
Because it's irrelevant anyway, because the
Yeah.
councillors will have all the info at the council meeting and then just present it in any case.
Exactly.
So it would be silly for them to not come on board.
Yeah.
Because it's like you say, the idea is apolitical. The idea is for the
Exactly.
community. It's not the DA trying to outshine everybody else. It's for the,
Yeah.
Can you-
Service delivery, basic service delivery that everybody's entitled
which is
to.
what your job is really as the
Mm.
opposition.
Well, for us, yes, it's our initiative, but it's for everyone.
Yeah.
This is not a political scoring tool. It's an initiative that can assist each and everyone. If the municipality don't want to use it, if the other parties don't want to use it, fine. This is our way to make our life easier so that we can report better to the municipality and have a better communication too with the municipality.
How does it work on your side now?
Right, so once you've loaded a PIN, you will get a normal street map, Google Maps type of view, and we can toggle it between satellite and normal map view. So what we're going to do is to submit a report monthly to the municipality in PDF format, unless they obviously want access as well. Now, as you can see from the map, we are focused on René's ward, Ward 14, and only the city cluster, or the CBD, or the city cluster, yeah.
Yeah, you can say.
Although your ward
Yeah,
actually
town.
goes
Yeah,
the
the
Plaas
town,
and so on, but we focus on
Mm.
the town. Now, only by looking at this map, you can already see where's the problem areas. So that will obviously be the first picture in the report, and then we can move on and I can say, okay, there's a problem in Aqua Street. Now I can zoom even more in and I can see, well, here's a lot of pins, and I can focus on that maybe on page 4 and 5. Then we can go out, and for example, here in Alan Bierman Street, I see there's only 2 pins. But for that whole block, there's only 2 pins. Aqualine got 20 pins, Alan Bierman got 1 pin. So if the municipal manager or a technician can then decide, I'm sending a big team to Aqualine, but I sent a one-man team to Alan Bierman, and they can prioritize and send out teams in that regard.
It's better. You save all over, save on everything.
Yeah.
Then, for example, I immediately go to the big clusters. I can see at the KFC, Janine Lifestyle Center, there are a lot of pins there. So clearly that is a problem in that area. It's a main route as well. It's close to a mall. If I go in here, let me see, Ernest Street, John Smith Street, there's a lot of pins there. While we're on here, I see some mistakes. Now, it's not mistakes that we have made. When a location is synced, it takes some time for the GPS to
Recorded.
record exactly. So it's normally accurate to 2 or 3 meters, sometimes 20 meters, depending on the signal. So yes, it might be out with a 2 or a 3 meter, but it's still accurate enough to show there's a
That
street
area.
light within 5 or 10 meters. So that is more or less the WhatsApp.
And if
accuracy.
you are driving there, you'll see that that one is not working. It must be
Exactly.
that one.
Mhm.
So I just want to mention it. So if you zoom in and it's maybe on a house, then obviously it's just a street
Yeah.
light in front. Okay, so I'm zooming out again. There's another way that we can present it. So if you zoom in, you can see exactly the house. Let me go in there. There you can see exactly Koos Nel, there's various pins there. If need be, we can also give them a terrain map. I personally don't like this too much in a zoom in view because the technician can't see the house, you can't see maybe a tree or a garden, so I prefer the satellite view. Then from there, let me go out here. So this is all the pins that was reported, but now we can toggle between potholes and broken street lights. So no potholes has been reported in Ward 14, but as a test we've done some in Ward 15. And now you can see at the bottom there's one pothole reported there. So I can do different reports and I simply toggle between the two. Then let's go back to street lights.
So if you want to just see all the potholes that are not working, you can choose the pothole map.
That's correct.
And then vice versa now, you want to see only the street lights, you choose the street light map.
Yeah.
And then eventually we'll be able to have like 4 different maps. Street lights, water, pipe burst.
Yeah. As we
Well, or 10.
Develop
There's
it.
unlimited possibilities.
So you can do whatever eventually.
The initial idea was in Polokwane, we had a water shortage. So many houses were without water for actually weeks, some or even months. But then they would, and that is where the idea of a pin-based map came to light. At that stage, I went to Google Maps, and as people reported on WhatsApp, I go manually and I go and type it in, search the address, so you can think it takes a long time. And for example, Rissik Street in Polokwane is a very long street, but with a high point and a lower point. So then someone will report on a WhatsApp group, Rissik Street is without water. But persons in Rissik 10 does have water in Rissik 100. Then I need to reply and say, please number. And then it's up and down and you don't have accurate information. And that is where the idea started, specifically on water shortages. In that app, sometimes the water will come back at night. So there we have a trigger where it resets at midnight. So that every day is a new, fresh information.
Okay.
Obviously, with street lights, it's an ongoing thing. You won't suddenly have a street light working today and tomorrow. So we didn't make it that interactive in this specific instance.
So can you go and manually? Okay, so the street light was red, the pin, and then the technician has now fixed it. Then does he just send a message to the counselor, say it's fixed now, and then she goes and makes it green?
So currently it's not set up like that. Let me show you how it works. I quickly took you to Polokwane where I've put in some test pins. So here you can see the status is all and the issues are all. If I only want to see potholes, then I click on potholes, and if I only want to see street lights, then it's there. Or I can go back to all and I can see all new, then it only showed the red pins. Once it's reported, then it will turn yellow, and when it's complete, it's blue. There we are a little bit politic because we are blue. But be that as it may, there will be a green depending on whether or not the municipality intend to work with our app. Let's use...
And the bonus of this is also, you can go and say after a year, you can say, listen, look at this map. There's 1,000 blue ticks. This is the 1,000 things that we fixed this year.
be more accurate than
Yeah,
Yes.
you can actually And then journalists won't go and say you're lying because there
Because
was
the evidence is there.
Well, Joe, you're one of those journalists who always say, yeah, you only see politicians when the elections are nearing. And I think it's just natural that they don't see what's going behind the scenes sometimes. Maybe your situation is different, but to pin all these maps only in Ward 14 took a considerable period of time for these councillors to drive around. I think it took them about a
Yeah.
week to drive each and every street and make sure that it's accurate. Obviously, when we start getting other users, then it will become easier. But at that stage, when we were piloting or still piloting the app, it took some
And
time.
considering that I live in close proximity to my own councillor, I've seen her at night standing there taking pictures.
Yeah, well, to say your councillor is standing on the street corners is not good.
Okay, so the councillor reports it.
So the PIN will be received, and then when we submit the report to the municipality, because it will be a PDF report, we will go and click on it, and it will click reported, update, and it will turn yellow. So in perfect world, after we have reported, everything should be yellow, not red.
Mm.
The only reason why we've done it like that is to make sure that we have in fact reported that to the municipality. Then, if the municipality bites on the idea to also use our app, we can include municipality confirmed or municipality fixed or whatever. And then it can turn green, for example. But can we trust the municipality if they say it is fixed? I don't know. We'll see if that used. So then if it's green, then a councillor will go to all the greens and say, oh, the street light is in fact fixed. And she will then say complete, update, and it's suddenly a blue tick. So currently there's a red tick, a yellow tick, and a blue tick. If the municipality bites down the idea and say, well, we are on board, then they will get a green tick or whatever
Whichever
color they prefer.
Yeah, it's regardless, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's just to show the different statuses.
And this app is free.
Yes, it's 100%.
Yeah,
free.
because the DA doesn't want to make money out of it.
There is obviously a cost involved for hosting the app. At this stage, I'm paying it with my developers. I must compliment and say thank you to developers. They are also doing at this stage, hosting it on their own platform, free of charge. So it's also a
Pro bono.
pro bono. Obviously, once it gets bigger and the information gets, especially when user starts registering, then we're going to look at POPI and all those compliance information, and then we will move it over to a different.
And you go
service.
eventually, the hardware part of it is costly.
Yes. So this far, it is for free, and it will always be free for the users, but there will always be a cost element.
Some
Once
people have
gra-
to
Yeah.
fit the bill.
And we are lucky that we got a donation or a sponsor
Yeah.
at this stage.
So that's basically how it works.
Yeah, in short.
And it's still in development, like we said. And when do you think it should be up and running? Because then we must do another little talk and then top. But we won't do it in here. We'll go and actually physically do it.
Well, currently it's live.
Yeah.
Let me go back to the Janine page or the map. So currently, as we speak, Ward 14, Renee's Ward, we have checked all the street lights. They have driven literally each street in this area and make sure. And this is the report for Ward 14 on street light that we're always sending out. Any person who is interested to assist us, especially invitation to the CPF, but any other person who are interested to drive with us. Obviously, in the start, we would like to drive with you and make sure that the information is accurate. And then we can move over to Ward 15. Ward 15. Focus on street lights, give that to the municipality, and then when the time is right, we can go to portals as well. I know you've written a lot about portals. Some streets are fixed, others are not fixed. I think of Deer Park, for example. What makes Deer Park a little bit different, and maybe I'm going a little bit off topic, but that is a provincial road.
Yeah.
But the same applies. I can send that information to the MEC responsible for roads. I can actually work over the whole province and make pins on national and provincial roads as well, where there are big potholes, and they can also cater because they don't have the advantage of 10 Boom Street or 10 Box Street. They only have a long road. So that will
They should actually also, if I was Sunrail or RAL, I would actually prefer it that way because it saves man hours. I don't have to drive and look for the bloody pothole. I can just go where the pin shows me
exactly.
and then go and do it. And this is great because it's also accountability, you know?
Mm.
Because RAL and Sunrail and our GTM, they have a way of saying, how will we know if people don't tell us?
Exactly.
And there's no way for me to say, but I promise you, I did. I really did phone. There's no way to do that. Now there is a way.
So we can, for example, someone who knows he's going to drive on the R111, whatever that may be, and he wants to report and he knows it's a bad road. He can actually send pins as he go along where it's really bad, and it shows a history on our app, and I will go on and I see, well, there's something going on here. Okay, let me send this to the MEC. It's a provincial issue, not a... and it will obviously be someone who registered who sends all those pins. So I will know prior to actually receiving the pins where the issue probably will be.
So if you're going to do this and you're driving on George's Valley Road now, you're going to be playing drums. It's going to be color in by numbers because that road's bad. And that's also a roll road. But this should work.
So the possibilities are actually endless.
Yeah. And it can grow.
And that's why we said it's a beta. It's my initiative, but I want to give it to anyone. The developers are actually based in Polokwane, but also in Pretoria. The developers even spoke to the ward councillor in that area. But we said, let's see where's the bugs, what is the needs. Even after discussing it with you, I saw some ideas how to amend the not the infrastructure, the interface. Maybe later we can geofence it, make different teams, because I don't want someone in Bloemfontein to report and I never go and look at Bloemfontein. But once other councillors in other areas are involved, they can also use it. If there's a cost, it will probably be cost on the councillor side and not on the end user.
You can be very specific. Like you say, if you geofence it, you can make it that the people in Ward 15 can only report Ward 15. The people in Ward 14 can only report Ward 14.
I don't think I'll go. I would rather focus per municipality, because you might have someone staying in Ward 15 but works in 14. So
So
I won't limit it. I would rather, and that is something, as I said, we are discussing with the developers to try and geofence by municipality. So currently Janine Council is on board. They like the app. They're going to use it. Polokwane, for argument's sake, might not be interested. Maybe they don't have the capacity. Maybe in Giyani there's only one councillor. So for him it doesn't work. Or it might work better for him. So it all depends on each one's needs. Something that is also something that we need to take into account is how are we going to report it? Currently, I cannot just press a button and they suddenly report, because you need to analyze the information and then go and put it in Illustrator or InDesign or something, and go and create a report as how you as the councillors see it. Now, unfortunately, not all councillors are that tech savvy. Renee, I know, won't be able to do it. She don't want to do it, but it doesn't mean it cannot be done.
no, but she's old school. She's still phones.
old school.
She
That's the problem.
phones.
But there are people that wants the old school way. But now she can say, well, I don't know how the computer works, but I know WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Send me a pin and my office will create a report and we're going to send it at the end of the month. Because a street light doesn't have to be reported today. It can be at the end of the month. To try and follow up with the municipality each week. And I think that is something that the resident must also take note. We're not going to follow up weekly.
No.
Yes, we're going to try and do it on a monthly basis so that after 3 times submitting a report, then we can go to council, submit a motion and say, well, in 3 months, the officials did not fix it. Now we as council, who got a oversight responsibility, must start talking with the municipal manager and make a resolution that the street lights in this area or the portals in this area be fixed. So I think in the long run, it will assist everyone.
Fantastic. Yeah, thanks, Franco. That was very insightful. Dankie, Renee. Thank you
Baie welkom.
for coming and
You're most
joining
welcome.
us. We're going to talk a lot more. I think people enjoy seeing you guys talk more than reading it. People don't read anymore. So we look forward to see how this is going to work and keep us updated. You
Will
know,
do.
and then I can report on it in this week's bulletin also.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
thank you for giving us the opportunity and a platform to speak to you and show initiative. And please, if you got any inputs, anyone looking, listening, we're open for suggestions.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.